Hello and welcome to the B Button, and here we are on episode 7, Blowy. Joining me this week, as always, is my compadre in arms, my bestest buddy, my pal, friend of mine. It's Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, other than being full of cold and sniffles and crap. And
You look like you're over it now.
dribbly face mess. Yeah, it's one of those. It's just now the cough that sounds like I'm dying.
Good.
Very close to doing so.
Nice. So, as always, what have you been gaming? What have you been hitting?
Well, I've
up?
actually done some this week, so...
Holy shit
yeah.
balls!
Well, it's mainly just been Pro Evo. Because
Right.
it's just got to that point in the year where there's just really nothing I could be bothered to play, other than old Pro Evo. But I've actually found the most random, amazing little mobile game
Go on.
that I've just been hooked on is Soda Dungeon.
Soda Dungeon?
Yeah, it's really bizarre. You got
This isn't King, is it?
No, it's something.
Were they allowed to use the word soda?
Maybe dungeon, possibly. But no, it's just really basic. All it is you build up your tavern. Obviously, they don't use ales because they want kids to play it, so it's sodas.
Yeah.
And you just sort of eventually get up certain characters that are actually hard enough that you can go through, and you stomp through levels, and you can prestige, so you get
What sort of game is it?
It's just a really basic sort of turn-based RPG kind of thing.
Oh, right, okay.
But all it is, it's just a one button. You just sort of hit and pick an attack and just keep having at it. But the beauty of it is you can auto-play it. So I could just sit there, I just keep it running through, and just go off and do other stuff and come back, and I've done loads of stuff on it.
Man, I love gaming where I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Cool.
But no, yeah, just a bit of retro stuff as well. So obviously played a bit of Donkey Kong and all that yesterday. Some ISS 98, which I haven't played for possibly 20 years.
Wow.
And it was so good. It was as good as I remembered it. Really was.
Cool. So just been mixing up a little bit then?
Yeah, a little bit of this, a bit of that. Same old, really.
Yeah, I've been busting through a few actually this week. I was at the beginning of the week mostly on still Far Cry Primal, just throwing spears at mammoths and wrestling them to the floor.
Spear chucking.
Yeah, spear chucking. Can't believe Mash got away with that. Spear chucking Jones, unbelievable. So politically incorrect. How the fuck did they do that? And then bit of Mortal Kombat, new characters out. Broforce.
It was, yeah, you were saying about that the other day, weren't you? That sounds brilliant, just purely for the punning.
Yeah. It's really good. I mean, so many characters. You can. It's for those who don't know it, it's basically just a 2D. Move through the level, shoot things. Very basic.
Just a sort of scroll and shoot them up.
Yeah, basically.
The old metal slug kind of thing.
Yeah, but all the environment's destructible, so you can shoot your way through the ground and stuff. And what they've done is they've just taken every main character from any sort of action movie, be it like Terminator, Neo from The Matrix, Judge Dredd, any of the above, and just renamed it with some dreadful bro names.
Did they have Charles Bronson? Because we was talking about, like you say, he was mentioning something yesterday, and obviously he was mentioning Deathwitch earlier, and that's one of the best rampage guys of movies.
I don't know if they did. They definitely they had things such as Broheart and the Brolander.
Nice.
And I think my favourite one was Bronan the Barbarian. It's just as much.
It's one of those you just we can't shoehorn that in any clever way. He's like, nah, fuck it, why bother?
Yeah. Snake Broskin.
That's the best one though. Good old Snake.
Yeah, and Brax. Mad Max.
Oh, of course, yes.
It's just dreadful. But yeah, so I've been rinsing a bit of that, and then over the last 48 hours it's all been going back to the Uncharted collection.
Nice.
So rinsed my way through Drake's Fortune. That was brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. And today started on the second one, Amongst Thieves, which, just watching the graphical movements between the two, even though they've been sort of tweaked and made really pretty, just great.
Yeah, because I don't think obviously I know the model Drake, the actual model itself has been changed to obviously so it's more consistent over the 3 games. But other than that, other than sort of textures being brought up to scratch,
that's all they've done. Yeah.
And I mean, it does still look ridiculously pretty.
Yeah, well, they were good looking games back in the day, so they're even better now.
But to think that even after 7, 8, 9 years for some of them, they still hold up.
Oh, massively, yeah. Just the gameplay in them's brilliant. Just and storyline, acting, all of that, facial expressions, just amazing, absolutely amazing. Right, we've got a big bullet bills section coming up. There's been lots going on this week, so we best move on over to it.
So it's less of a bullet bills big three, and it's just bullet bills
machine gun.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Tech 9.
Yeah, let's get on it. Bullet Bills big, well, is it 3? I don't know if it is. It's Bullet Bills plethora. Yeah. So let's not pull any punches. We're going to have to go through this stuff. There's a lot of it. Hit me up with number 1, Link.
Right, so we finally got a release date for No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Obviously, we knew it was going to be June, or that was the initial road sort of marker. But they've come out this week and actually announced some release dates for all of the regions, other than Japan, surprisingly. Or Asia. So obviously the US is going to get it first. That'll be on the 21st of June.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's a day later in the EU on the 22nd. And then it's the 24th, which obviously is the Friday, in the UK. I think it's the Friday. I haven't actually double-checked.
Okay. So does that mean you're now just saving money?
Basically, yeah. Yeah, I've got my date for when I have to have my PlayStation 4 by.
Damn.
But obviously there's a few other details, because obviously a lot more journos had time with the game. It seems to be... Obviously it was very, very little time. It's not something that you can pick up and find out what you need to in half an hour.
Yeah.
I think looking at it, it's looking to be more what people are looking at. There's still... It's going to be a difficult one until you've actually put some hours into it, whether you can tell it's going to be any good or not. So it's still sort of a bit up in arms with a lot of people, but I think
you were quite excited about the whole idea of some space piracy, weren't you?
I just love the idea that it's going to take some real work to actually meet up with actual people. So when you do see someone, it's just like, please, can we go and raid ships? But there's... I mean, the community side of it is what I'm excited about, because, I mean, you look how Minecraft as a community has gone forward. All of these really big games that obviously only work because of their communities, how they essentially drive the game forward and they create new games within that game.
Are you saying something about looking forward to like a cartographer of sorts?
Someone will map it out. They will set up a website and there will be an actual digital cartographer.
Yeah, the thing is like you just hope it isn't some asshole who wants to send everybody in the wrong direction.
Well, yeah, there is that. Cool. Have I told you I've started?
Yeah. Okay, so what's our next bullet hole for this week?
So speaking of maps, we have the Division DLC roadmap.
Nice segue.
Oh, I thought it was pretty good.
Right.
So obviously there's a few free bits coming out first. Obviously that's going to be sort of daily tasks and challenges around, I'd imagine, on certain missions and even in the Dark Zone. There's going to be the incursions, which is by any other form of language raids.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be loot trading.
Oh, nice.
Which should be good.
So you can actually get loot and trade it with other people?
Yeah. That's the plan anyway, but whether it actually stays in before release...
Man, that'd be cool, because, you look at things like on Destiny, like, the amount of times you get, especially you, the same gun...
Don't mention the fucking last words.
It's just my last word on it. The Punisher. You just can't share it, can you? You want to, but you can't.
I mean, I can kind of understand why they've done it, because it would essentially ruin the economy, because you get people that would do it just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
Just to break it for Activision. I know that's the case, because I'd be one of them. So I can kind of understand it, but the fact that there is no way to trade, because I'd love the idea that, say, you've got 2 truths, I've got 2 Galahorns.
Yeah.
I want a truth, you want a Galahorn. Well, let's trade one. They're all of equal value, not gaining or losing anything. We both be happy. And I don't have to spend another 15 hours going through that same fucking 6 levels.
Yeah, you do.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I don't, because I don't play the bloody thing anymore.
Come on then, bullet hole number 3. What we got?
No, obviously, sorry, we missed out on the expansions. The 3 paid expansions. Obviously, we've got the first one. That's coming in June. That's the Underground.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's going to be like the Underground subway system.
Yeah.
Second one we've got is Survival, and that's in the summer. Obviously, that's fairly self-explanatory. I don't think I really need to go into that one. And then the third last one that we've got down is Last Stand, and that is set for winter. And the blurb is new threats rising as players defend against a deadly foe, as opposed to a foe that's not deadly.
So this is basically just going to be sat there locked down on a bit of map whilst you get waves of people attacking.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's, here's what's going to be coming out. Good enough.
Cool.
If Activision had done a bit more on that, I don't think they'd have lost as many players as they did. But they probably would have by now.
Yeah, well, they'll put some shiny new thing out to make everybody spend their money.
They'll bring out the Sparrow League Racing again and some crappy pack that you can buy for 30 quid that gives you some rudimentary shit.
I'll be on it. Right, so bullet hole number 3.
Well, this one's going to disappoint you.
Yes, it will.
I mean, it could have quite easily gone into contention for the Beef Chief today, really.
It could have, yeah.
But obviously, Sony announced this week that Uncharted 4 has been delayed again.
Again?
Well, obviously, it got pushed back to March from October last year. Got pushed then to April from March, and now it's been pushed from April to May. So it's only a 2-week delay. It's to the 10th of May. So one can only think that it's either a manufacturing problem or they just need that couple of extra weeks just to get it absolutely bob on.
The thing is, I mean, they're pretty far along with things such as the beta and stuff like that, the multiplayer beta.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway. Okay, well, look, I'm really pissed about that. Not really happy, but it is what it is, I guess, so...
Yeah, I think we're sort of classic Nintendo fans, really, so we're used to it. To be honest. So, if it comes out and it's better for it, then I'm all for the sort of quick delays.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it's one of those games that it's going to be so epic. Take what you need, guys, just get it right.
It's no Batman kind of Arkham Knight delay, is it? It's just like, yeah, it's going to be out this year. No, it's not, is it, guys? Yeah, it totally is. No, it's not, is it?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
We pushed it back 3 months. Oh, no, we pushed it back 9 months now.
But a whole number 4?
Mortal Kombat, the XL characters have been released.
Yes, they have, yes.
So obviously it's the Xenomorph from the Aliens franchise.
Yep.
Bo-Rai Chi, or Chai.
Cho, yeah.
Yeah, one of the two. There's Triborg, which just sounds just too cheesy a character.
Triborg's like a mix of what Sector and Cyborg.
Yeah, it's just an amalgamation, isn't it? And then we have the good old classic inspiration for all serial killers, Leatherface.
Yeah.
Which was obviously inspired by a serial killer, which brings it full circle.
So I've been playing that actually this week, and man, that game is still... no, it's an obvious statement, but it is brutal.
Yeah.
Just like some of the finishing moves. I watched Leatherface basically put a hook through somebody's jawline, hang them up in the air, take out the chainsaw, half cut their stomach open, and then watch it all separate, and you get all of the stomach lining and all that code with the bottom half, but it's obviously from a bit more of the top torso.
Yeah.
And then just pour out onto and you're like, oh my god, man, it is brutal.
If only the Daily Mail knew when it was reporting on Mortal Kombat those 20 years ago.
Yeah, honestly, brutal stuff. Cool. So for our next bullet hole, number 5, we've got Metal Gear Online expansions. Their new pack, which is now dated for 15th of March. Cloaked in Silence is the name of the new pack. It's got 4 new maps, new playable character, Quiet.
I was going to say it's the one where they're putting Quiet into it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or Jiggly Tits herself.
Indeed. And some new appeal action. I appeal to you. Here's my action. Either which way, it's more stuff online. It's people are loving that at the moment. They're still playing it massively.
I think it's very much like the sort of a Marmite case, really, isn't it? You either love it or hate it. Yeah. Because a lot of people from a lot of the comments that I've read, it's very polarizing. Like some people love the fact that all of the stuff that you've collected through all of the single player and all of that can still be attacked from online. A lot of people hate it. Yeah. Which I think personally it's something like that. I think it sucks that you can spend all this time and then have some asshat that's gone out and spent money on it come up and just take all your shit. I think that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know what I like stealth games, but Metal Gear is just a ridiculous stealth game. I mean, I can't remember who it was I was chatting with the other day. It might have been Jedi, it might have been Kia, but whoever it was, I was saying to them about, you get spotted in that game, and you'll spend like 20 minutes running and hiding, and just, it's not like, I've lost them, now they're just going to carry on their merry ways. Yeah. It's like, it's brutal, that game. Yeah. Absolutely brutal. So they've also lined up their next DLC pack as well, Survival. Guess what that is. Coming 7th of April this year.
Not far away then.
Yeah, no, they've lined up pretty quick. It's 6 players, basically all working together to get consecutive wins. Is the premise, and you get some decent rewards out of it. So, I mean, it's really nice to see them supporting the game well. It's nice to know that it's not like, here's some DLC, we'll let you know in the next 6 months' time what the next thing is. Yeah. They've obviously got some concise roadmap for it.
I think with obviously Konami's metered history over the last year, especially with their development schedules, there's literally nothing on the horizon at the moment other than pachinko machines and health clubs.
Yeah, pretty much.
And torturing your staff. I think they do need to keep on the ball with that, because that's one that will go very sour very, very quickly.
Yeah, now they don't have...
They've got nothing, and they've got no Kojima to come in and say, it's all right, guys.
Yeah,
I'm here still.
Weed them out, yeah. Cool. So our next bullet hole is back to the Division, actually, and they've announced the day 1 patch. So in it we've got some visual improvements, which is basically some of the shadow and such like.
Yeah, it's just minor stuff, isn't it?
So, I mean, I'll go through some of it, but looking at what it is, it's like, mega map and open world update, gameplay improvements and fixes and general improvements. All of this is not, hey, we've taken your advice and we understand this doesn't work, so we've changed it. It's, that was broken, now we fixed it. We've
looked at the statistics of stuff and just realised that that's, Yeah, like I said, this is the point of betas, though, isn't it? It's for them to get some cheap, i.e. free, quality assurance, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So it's good, I like it when any sort of gaming lead says, right, actually, this is what we've done, here's the detail behind it. If you've got a massive online game, you've got to support it and, be vocal with your community, and I think they're doing it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
No, fair play to them.
Yeah. Then the biggie, and there was quite a lot of news here, but we sort of like distilled this a little bit, is the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, this is one that actually featured more things than Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, I think it's their first one since we lost Iwata.
No, that was last week.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we had the Pokemon Moon and Sun and Moon
yes, of course, yeah. But either which way, it's the first one which actually has anything that I cared about in it. We've got in there a bit of Star Fox Zero. Is coming with I don't know what you called it. It wasn't like a demo. It was like a...
Well, it's what started as a tech demo, wasn't it? At E3 a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Because you had the weird Voyeur one, wasn't it, with all the cameras, and then you had like the robot one, and it's this robot game, isn't it?
It's a tower defense, basically. Yeah. It's got Slippy's uncle, Grippy.
Well, it wasn't Mr. Fist.
Yeah, I don't know how they come up with this stuff, but it's genius. They've also announced that Mario Maker's getting some new items. Specifically, one that they really waved a flag over is it's getting keys. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks.
Yeah, nailed it. But the one which I think really got both you and I a little bit excited, especially from the images we saw of it, was new Paper Mario on the Wii U.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. The last one I played, obviously I didn't play any of the Mario Luigi stuff, and I haven't played any of the DS stuff, but Thousand Year Door on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Is that GameCube or was that Wii?
Thousand Year Door was GameCube.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was brilliant.
I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. No, it was, yeah. No, it was GameCube.
I don't know, because I remember playing it on my Wii, but then obviously that was backwards compatible. So,
but yeah, I mean, like Paper Mario I've just been a great fan of that. Superstar Saga for me was the upper echelon that was on the DS, I think it was. But yeah, I've been rinsing through all of the 3DS ones. In fact, the only one I didn't play was that sticker one. I forget the name of it now. That's some good journalism for you right there. But yeah, no, all of them, just they're brilliant. It's that basic, I've always gone about it, that basic Nintendo A, B, B, A, B, B, A.
Yeah, just little simple gameplay hooks.
Button timing.
Mechanics.
Yeah. And, I mean, there was some other additional news from Nintendo Direct, but the other one which really sort of got our attention was the new Kirby game with giant robots,
Mecha Kirby.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What hat is it he puts on for that?
Or can he still...
Or does he swallow?
Yeah, can he still swallow enemies? And
does he
becomes
swallow
a different mech?
Does he swallow a mech like some huge anaconda of sorts? I don't know, but... Yeah, either which way, very cool. Final bullet hole for this week, and this one I wanted to sort of verbalise this one a little bit to our listeners, just based on the fact that I just think, fuck me, people have got some time on their hands, but fair play to them. GTA 5, the map recreated in Minecraft.
Yeah, we was having a look at this, wasn't it, before we recorded?
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously it's not super detailed, but the fact is that someone's created the whole entire map, which is huge. Just the city alone. They've
been on it for 13 months. I mean, I think they're still... They're doing the city. I think they've still got a fair amount to go with, the rest of the map, but they'll be there for a long, long time. But it's crazy. We were looking through it, and I could actually recognise bits, the red and white car park, and just, I know that car park, and I know that part of the map, and if you spend if you spend too much time on GTA, you do start to know the map, and you're like, I know this bit. It's just,
Oh, I know, it's brilliant. Fair play to them. But then we've seen, was it Denmark? There's a whole entire Denmark in Minecraft. The whole of Denmark. I know... Oh, God. Ordnance Survey, they did the whole of Britain, obviously not to scale, but they did the whole entire British Isles.
Dear God.
So, yeah, there's been some real epic... Minecraft mappings.
The one I saw recently was somebody recreated Ecto 1.
Yeah.
In really well, actually. Yeah. Love that.
Oh yeah, no. With a community the size that Minecraft's got, obviously you can have loads of stuff like that. And it's brilliant. I think it's superb. I mean, Minecraft is it's very much one of those sort of, again, I like to use the term the Marmite, you either love it or hate it.
It's a tool though, really, isn't it?
It really is. It's I mean, the fact that you've got people from the age of 5 years old up to 45, 55, 65, and they've all got that same common interest. I think it's remarkable. I
know we fear of doing a little bit of an Uncharted here, and I'm going off on a tangent, but the thing that I love the most about what I've seen on Minecraft is I saw an interview with a guy, and he said, I noticed my son had been playing Minecraft for the last 4 hours in the morning. It was 11 o'clock, and I thought, I've had enough of this. So he went over to his son to basically say, get off that computer, get outside and get some sunshine. And when he went over there, his son had created a fully functional aqueduct. And he was like, well, how can I tell him to go outside and kick a football around when he's just learnt how to build an aqueduct?
Yeah, he's created an advanced engineering concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go kick a ball around, go kick a pointless bag of air around for no reason whatsoever.
And learn nothing, yeah.
Or, actually learn something.
He says the gamers, you learn nothing going outside, don't worry about that. But anyway, we've got a really beefy chiefy coming up, so I'm going to trust... I can feel myself welling up already. Honestly, this is a hot
To be
topic.
honest, I think there'll be quite a few people that will probably be on the...
Yeah. Right, well, let's hit it up. Let's shift on over to our What's the Beef Chief. Oh my god, what is the Beef Chief? Oh man, am I ready for this? I'm gonna beat this fucking meat massively. Link.
So I suppose I'm going to have to be the calm overseer. So today it's the outstanding achievements of Peter Molyneux and his bag of lies.
Oh man.
Bags of lies.
Right, so I have a deep-seated fucking vendetta against this guy for lots of reasons, but recently in the news what's come out is that the long arching story of Peter Molyneux's game, he did a game called Curiosity a while ago, right? And this game was a cube of lots of little cubes that people just went online and they tapped on these cubes until it disappeared and somebody got access to the middle. Nobody knew what was in the middle, and Peter Molyneux explained it as an experiment, so he's basically experimenting on you. And the person who got to the centre of the cube after, I think it was a fair few months of tapping at this fucking thing.
Yeah. Something like 5.2 billion cubelets were destroyed in the process.
Yeah, and lots of sore fingers.
Just being sore generally, just thinking, why have I downloaded this?
I really hope people were using their finger.
Yeah.
Brian Henderson managed to get to the centre, and Peter Molyneux came out with a little video going, what you'll find at the middle was a life-changing experience, basically.
Yeah.
And the pitch was that his company, 22 Cans, was going to basically make this person the god of gods in their new game that they were releasing, Goddess.
Yeah.
Right? And he would be able to set up the rules for the game, and he was also going to financially benefit from it as well. So he was going to get 10% of the revenue that came out of this game was going to go to him, and that was like the life-changing bit. So Curiosity came out in like November 2012, right? And obviously everyone tapped away for X amount of months, and then he found out what the result was. And lo and behold, what happens? Nothing.
No.
Nothing for a long, long time.
So when is it Goddess released? It was something like March 2013 or something like that, wasn't it? It was a few months afterwards.
No, they did like a Steam Early Access, basically, and that was back in September 2013. And then after that, they released in the App Store in May 2014. Right?
Not long after in the Play Store, because I remember getting the Goddess. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but the one thing that they did do was they kind of said, but the hub world bit, which is like the multiplayer bit where everybody is able to, this god of gods, Brian, was supposed to be able to actually no, it's not Brian. Yeah,
no, but just say it again. This god of gods, Brian.
He's not a god. He's a very naughty boy. Basically, this hub world bit that he was supposed to be able to control and dictate rules hasn't been released, or hadn't been released, right? So it was going on for ages, and this poor guy did an interview with Eurogamer, and it was actually quite a good interview. It's worth having a look. Try and hunt it down. It's called The God That Peter Molyneux Forgot. And this poor guy was basically emailing him and trying to find out what was going on, like ritually every month. And he was 18 when like he found out that he'd won, and like he's now 21, and it's only really come to fruition now. And what was in the news is that they finally got to a point now where they've agreed that he will get his money, although he's not been able to act as God, and he's basically just agreed that he's going to take whatever money he gets and put it to a charity, which is Special Effect, which is just basically helping disabled children experience things such as video gaming and such like. Which,
but just like I say, most charities are all pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah. So you know, bully for him for doing that. But my beef and why I'm here to rant about it is fucking Peter Molyneux. Like, this guy is just over and over again. He presents to the gaming community that he knows what he's talking about. I mean, if you ever watch any of the interviews like this, so this is the guy who came up with Fable, right? Or this is the lead on the Fable projects, right? Fable 1, 2 and 3, and more recently, what was the...
I think
Fable?
he'd left before those ones. All of the... he had Heroes, and then you had the one with Connect, didn't you?
That was it, yeah.
But yeah, he'd left...
but he did 1, 2 and 3, and I remember watching him do interviews, and he'd say things like, people want to be able to, I don't know, ride a horse and cart, and, you know, or whatever, and you just think, that's not my fucking priority with this game, you know. And he made all these promises about how it would massively affect the storyline and how it would do and it never does. And he made all these promises to this kid, Brian Henderson, about, you know, something life-changing inside. And, you know, and to quote him, and what I particularly like was he said, you will have fame and you will have fortune. Well, the fame he got because of the interviews from Eurogamer about him never getting any response or never getting any answers, and this game never really taking off. And the fortune he got, yes he did, but only because he got enough light of people moaning and complaining about it that eventually he went, oh great, I've got the money, just give it to charity.
Yeah.
And I just think it's nuts. I can't stand this fucking guy.
I mean, it's something that's been well known for years that Peter Molyneux overpromises. I mean, he's even come out and said it himself, that this is something that he knows that he should keep in check, that he stupidly doesn't think that people are going to blow these things out of proportion.
But I don't think people blow it out of proportion. I think what happens is he says something,
and they report on what he said,
and then people expect him to deliver on what he says.
Yeah.
And the problem was 22 Cans were also working on another game at the time when Goddess was being worked on.
Yeah.
So what was happening was they were losing priority and they weren't completing what they said they were going to do.
No.
They even got a guy from the community who got involved with Curiosity to come in and play Goddess. And one of my favourite quotes was actually by Brian Henderson when he first played Goddess, and he basically said... it was something that he said, I played it, I quite liked it, it was pretty fun, but I got a bit bored of it after an hour and a half to 2 hours. And they got a guy from the community, a guy called Conrad, to come in and sort of help him out and take lead. And he said he played it, and in this sort of like Kickstarter feedback video where you've got Conrad and you've got Peter Molyneux and a guy sort of obviously from the team reading the comments and giving feedback on it, you could just tell that this guy Conrad was like, I played it and it was shit, and it was nothing like the kind of games that I like to play. I play a lot of these sort of like godlike games, you have to sort of control the world, and it was wank.
I mean, look at From Dust, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Love that game. Really good little game.
Yeah. And it's just this I mean, I can think of loads of old ones where you think, why don't you like, Black and White and stuff like that.
I was going to say the original Lionhead one.
Yeah.
Black and White was fucking unreal. That was brilliant.
Why can't you, recognise what you've done well and take from that? And this is what always gets on my nerves with fucking Peter Molyneux, is he sits there and he says, the gaming community wants this. And in my head, I'm always just thinking, no, we don't. You're old. You've got no idea what, you've been in the industry for so long and you still don't have a clue what we actually want. And Peter Molyneux was saying in this Kickstarter feedback video, he's like, I've stood back from Goddess now because Conrad really knows what he wants to do with it, and by me stepping back, I can actually give more to it. And it's like, no, what happened was you were making a game and you were doing a shit job of it, and then somebody from the community came in and showed you how bad your game was and how out of touch you were with it, and now you've just gone, oh yeah, you're right, and then you think, and then you're still trying to attach your name to it. Like, just stop, man, just stop.
I mean, if you look at some of the bigger hitters in the gaming industry, like some of the big names. I mean, you've got obviously like Michael Ansel, Guillermo from Ubisoft, Miyamoto, even
Iwata, stuff like that.
Yeah, but they once they got to a certain point, they take a back seat. Like Enuma as well, IG Enuma.
Yep.
Like they're not on the front lines making code and making this and doing that and making sure that's fine. They'll come in at the end of the day or the end of the week and see how it's going. And like you say, it's taking a back seat and allowing the teams under you to actually grow and to gain their own skill base and skill sets. And I think that's the thing that he struggles with. I think he's just an egomaniac.
Yeah, without a doubt. He just loves his own voice. Says Marf,
the podcasters.
Doing a podcast. Anyway, look, I could rant on about this for absolutely ages because I just watched this guy ruin so many games for me.
I sort of, after Fable, learnt pretty much just to take what he ever says with not necessarily a grain of salt, but maybe a line or two.
Yeah.
Because there were so many things that were overpromised. And Fable was talked up. I mean, still, it's the best of the bunch for me, the original Fable. I think it's just got everything about it so clean and solid that it sort of seemed a lot more muddied as it went on.
I like the second one, I think, for me.
I didn't actually play the second one, to be fair. But obviously I've taken sort of heard testimonies from people that obviously I know that have played it. And from what they said, I was just like, yeah, they've taken all the good bits and the best bits from Fable and got rid of them.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is I look at things such as Fable and I just think, right, your fighting mechanic is shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're like the principles of like upgrading magic and it becoming more powerful the more you use it. Yeah, that's good. But it doesn't work very well, and that's the thing that I've always found with Fable and the ones that 1 to 3 is just I just don't feel like they ever realise the dream that they were trying to achieve, and then they release another game and you think, well, right, you've got more power in the machine that you're using, you've got the investment, you've got the time, you've got the fan base, you've got the IP. Now you can really focus on honing this shit down. And it's shit again.
Yeah.
And it's not shit. The games are good, but they're just not what they could be.
Instead of looking back at what was not so great about, say, Fable, they go, oh, we'll bring this in and we'll add this and we'll do that now and then this. And you think, no, get that stuff right.
Exactly.
That you didn't have the power to do. Like when you were complaining that it wasn't powerful enough to do it now. I remember, was it Fable 1? You were supposed to essentially set up a legacy. And heritage. So you would go out into the world, become a hero, become an adventurer, you'd find your place in the world, you'd have your name, you'd settle down, you'd have family, then you'd have kids, and your kids then would inherit your weapons and your titles and your abilities, and they would then go out into the world and forge their own way, and it would be a never-ending game essentially. Never materialised because they didn't have the processing power or the memory side of it. Fair enough, that's no problems. I remember talking about, like most RPGs do the same things, that you go into an area, you hack up everything, you leave the area, you come back, it's all grown back.
Yeah, grinding. Yeah.
Well, Fable, they were, again, as I was reading it from magazines and interviews with Peter Molyneux, was it will grow back gradually. So you can go in and clear an area, you come back that like 30 seconds later, it will still be cleared. But you come back, say, like an in-game hour, like day or two later, and it'll start to have emerged and grown back. And I thought, that's fucking cool, that's amazing. It's everything in that game that was over-promised could technically and probably should be done now. And like when they said they're going to do the Fable anniversary, I thought finally they're going to go back and fix the things that are broken. No, we'll just turn up the resolution and just chuck it out the door. Yeah,
and it's there's silly little things like, I mean, if you look at what I think what really gets on my nerves the most about it is the fact that Fable in itself is potentially a brilliant game. If you look at like the humour in it, it just has me time and time again.
It could have been the best game on the Xbox.
Without a doubt.
It could have been a console seller.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, when was the first, like when you first played it, except for generally most people, they go through and they do it in a good side, and then if you play for it again you do it a bad side. What I loved about that was the fact that you could go to one town, completely raze the town, kill everyone in sight, come back, all the houses are empty, I'll buy everything up, and your name in that town is blackened. You could never recover your name in that town again.
Yeah.
But you go across the map to another town, they think the sun shines out of your ass.
Yeah.
They think you're the greatest living person ever, and you are the epitome of good people. And I loved that. I just loved how you could just be one thing to one set of people and something completely different to another set.
A wife in every town.
Exactly. You could be a polygamist, and it was amazing.
Yeah. But chicken plucker. Amazing.
And again, I think, Peter Molyneux is basically a human version of the Kinect. It promises so much, but delivers very little.
Delivers fuck all but disappointment.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a note to leave it on. Oh, what's the beef, chief? If you want to take the sentiment of the day, it's Peter Molyneux equals Kinect.
Yeah, basically.
Let's go over to our Uncharted. Uncharted territory. It's amazing how I go from to my
I'm thinking we should start getting the bullet in between, really, shouldn't we, as a buffer?
I need to get a bullet in between as a buffer. I'm not sure if that sounds good, but yeah.
Well, it depends what kind of bullet.
Well, yeah, not bullet hole.
No, the magic bullet, mate.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Or so, bullet.
Come on now, NX.
Yeah. So
we've had some rumours. There's
been an awful lot of rumours coming out recently. Obviously, as with any rumour mill, you sort of take it with a massive grain of salt, or maybe a beach-sized grain.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's one of those things. It's the time of year now. Obviously, it's ramping up to E3, so you're going to see a lot more of the rumours dropping. But these ones, obviously, come courtesy of a gentleman named Gino, or Gano, or I don't know how you want to pronounce it. But he's had some pretty good successes with the various leaks he's come out with that have all been pretty much bob on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been speaking to Dual Pixels. I'm assuming that's a website. I didn't go there, but I found this from other sources. But so he's obviously been chatting to them about some info that he's picked up.
Yeah, and just for the avoidance of doubt, NX is the new console that Nintendo the new gaming platform that Nintendo are launching.
Well, this is the thing. It's not quite necessarily known whether the NX is the platform, or if it's the OS, or if it's the new... I don't know.
We don't know, yeah.
The certain je ne sais quoi.
Or as I would like to say, I don't know what.
So, yeah.
So what we got?
Yeah, so obviously this is basing it. The NX is a console. Obviously it's been talked about that it might actually be a handheld. It might be a dual purpose one where it's actually like the Wii gamepad or the Wii U gamepad. Sort of everything's all included with it, and you've just got a little dongle, which is where it leads me at the first point. The NX has a wireless HDMI dongle that will plug into any standard HDMI port. So obviously it's leading weight to the theory that it will be a handheld of some kind.
Yeah.
Obviously it uses an upgraded version of the tech used in Wii U, which obviously you probably have to tell me is pretty good.
It's solid. I mean, yeah, it's solid as long as you're comfortable with ridiculous loading times.
Yeah.
Or downloading software updates and stuff like that, which is standard for all of Nintendo stuff.
I was going to say, standard for bleeding consoles nowadays, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but Nintendo do it in a very special way. Where,
I think it's their server end, really, isn't it? It's just appalling.
No, it's the fact that they don't spend any money on their hardware, so they go, yeah, we don't need a powerful machine. But when you're sat there watching like a 3-hour update, you think, well, actually, no, you do need a powerful machine.
You may like one of these ones, then.
Let's find out.
Well, anyway... But here's the one that caught my eye. The analog controls for movement have small motors to provide full haptic feedback. So there'll actually be force feedback. So say if you run into a wall, that will actually be counteracted on the analog. Or like if like you're playing and you got on the triggers, like you say, that there'll be some sort of force back from there to show that something's happened.
That's cool. Where did they get that idea from?
Obviously the Steam controller's got that, and he's got the haptic feedback.
Or maybe just the Xbox One controller.
Well, that's just got rumbles, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, cool. Any point where they can put something in the controller which actually gives you that bit more immersion.
Yeah, no, I think that's brilliant. Yeah, apparently it's going to Bluetooth sync with lots of devices, including smartphones and tablets. So I think they're trying to sort of be a bit more of an open-armed, as opposed to a closed-off Nintendo, which is quite good. That's a good thing. That's
unusual.
Yeah, well, for any of them, really, to be honest. Because then why would you need to buy the Nintendo-affiliated bits and bobs? You could just go and get any old crappy Bluetooth headset and stuff like that. So
potentially that means you could Bluetooth onto your phone and use that as a screen?
Maybe.
Right, okay.
Maybe. Obviously, you know what the homebrew scene's like. If there's a way for it to be technically done, then it will be. Someone will find a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously taking this Bluetooth syncing thing one step further, you will be able to answer calls and display text messages onto the NX screen/screens.
Right, okay.
So that's a pretty good little thing, because again, it's nothing worse than you hear that inevitable ringing in your pocket and you think, I can't take my eyes off this game, I can't pause it, I'm on an online game, I know it's going to be important, and then you think, right, bollocks to the game, it's an important call, I'm waiting for an important call, you take your phone out and it's just some asshat trying to sell you PPI.
Great. So now you've got a new sticker for answering 5 calls whilst playing online.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But it's apparently closest in spec to Xbox One, so they're at least keeping up, as opposed to just going, nah, you guys go on ahead. We'll. But to be honest, looking at the state of some of the games, though, I don't realistically think you need to worry about it much more.
But let's be honest, right? I hope when they say Xbox One, they mean the Xbox One and not the first Xbox.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
It looks worse than the Wii U. Yeah. It uses the same hardware layout as Xbox and PS. So it's very much in terms of the internal gubbins are set out very similarly. Probably use off-the-shelf parts because Nintendo have generally always notoriously used chipsets that have been built for specific reasons.
So they're going to shoehorn all of this stuff into a handheld console. That's going something, isn't it?
Yeah, no, don't forget in the sense that there's the GPU, the CPU, memory, in the way the infrastructure of the hardware works.
Yeah, but I mean, just generally to take something, the power of the Xbox One, and shoehorn that into a handheld, that's...
Oh yeah, but don't forget, was it last week or the week before? I mean, you're looking at the new like Snapdragon chips and stuff like that, and it's phenomenal, the stuff I mean, if you've seen any of the Vulkan demos that Unreal have done, it's mind-blowing.
But I guess equally you could say exactly the same thing. You look at things like the Vita, that's a hell of a machine.
Yeah, and that's 3 years old now?
Oh, and the rest, yeah.
4 years old, yeah. I mean, the fact, I think it's possibly a bit much of a muchness, and maybe, like you say, that's possibly with the biggest grain has to be taken. But no, I wouldn't doubt it at all. I mean, you see some of the mobile games and they look stunning. They really do. It's just, again, the screen size. You don't, if it's a small screen, you don't have to worry about resolutions.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so hopefully it does sort of keep up with it.
We'll see once you plug that dongle into your 50 or 60 inch screen.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is the one. But apparently any game that runs on the PS4 or Xbox can run on the NX. No Man's Sky! Yes!
Wait, no, that's not possible. How are they going to do that? The licensing issues alone.
No. But if it runs on a PS4, it doesn't mean it will. Like, you're not going to get God of War on a Nintendo console.
God damn it!
But if it technically can run on there, then the NX
technically could be handled by the NX.
Yeah. It could power wise. It will be able to run it, and that's especially true if it runs on Android's OS or Unreal 4. Because Unreal 4 is going to be obviously supported.
Do you know, one of the things which has made me sort of smirk a little bit about that news is the fact that one of the things that they've been adamant about is that in no way will this be the new console taking over from the Wii U. The Wii U will continue to run. So what they're saying is you'll now have a shitter, less powerful home console.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Even Nintendo have always done that, really, haven't they? They're like, no, it's not that at all. It's not that at all. Yeah, it totally is.
Bye, Wii U. Bye.
I think everybody. I mean, the death knell for it will be if the new Zelda comes to NX.
Well, the thing is,
if that is the case, did you ever buy Twilight Princess for the GameCube?
Yes.
Did you have a Wii?
Yes.
You bought it both, fair play.
Yeah.
You wanted to see him proper left-handed, wouldn't you?
I just wanted it as soon as possible. But the thing is, and this is a bit where I'm a bit like, is I saw some rumours by a guy called Trevelyan 9999, and he was saying that potentially Zelda could be the launch title with it.
I wouldn't put it past it a la sort of Wii launch, because that, again, I had no intention of getting that for the Wii. I didn't realise it was going to be available at launch, and then when I did, that was literally the second game that I pre-ordered.
Yeah.
First being Wii Play, because it had an extra controller.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to be a bitch to get hold of.
Yeah, which it was.
Yeah, the controllers were complete.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically, so to carry on with the rumours, the strengths of the console lie in its ease of use. But again, it's a Nintendo console. They've always been fairly pick up and play, haven't they? Ease
of use for the gamer or for the developer?
I'm hoping both. But I'd imagine that in this case it's sort of aimed at the gamer, because I think Nintendo, you can say that they pretty much own the casual market in terms of the big three. Obviously, beyond that is Apple. They own the casual market because obviously everyone's got a bloody Apple phone or an iPad, and the sheer amount of tripe games that they play on those, they do own it. But I think in terms of like you say, the big three, that Nintendo opened up the casual market, and if it wasn't for Nintendo, Apple wouldn't have had a fucking hope right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully the ease of use is for obviously consumers, but the Nintendo S. Hey, clever their marketing. Has a lot of the features of a good good operating system. So obviously the social side of it, the ease and connectivity, the fact that it spans over multiple devices. It seems sort of pretty much everyone's fairly happy with it. Nintendo have actually done something which no one thought they could do possible and created a decent network system.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, this is probably why they've been working with DNA, sorry.
Yeah.
Not Dina.
Well, the thing is that they make incredible networks, no doubt. And the reason why they work so well is because there's no functionality on them. Like, for example, talking to people.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? They finally realised and they're on to catch up. And they are sorely lacking and severely behind in terms of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. And so one of the things that I've seen recently about potential launch titles, or at least games which are going to be done on it, and there was some leaked footage of it, was Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah. I was going to say, that was another one that came out this week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
There's the rumour that Nintendo are actually funding the sequel.
The footage that I saw of it looked really good, and I thought, well, if you're going to run that on your new console, that's not bad.
To be honest, it's kind of one of those that it would be a system seller for fans of BG&E.
It's a massive cult following which is behind Good and Evil.
It's like one of those games that always happened. At the time, nobody gives a toss.
Yep.
And then when it's out of production and you can't find a disc, suddenly every fucker and his dog wants a copy.
Yeah.
I was trying to think what game it was that I played that it sort of turned slightly cult and had this sort of massive underground following. No, I still can't remember it because I was thinking about selling it because it would have got me an awful lot more money than I paid for it.
Ni no Kuni?
No, it wasn't that one.
But do you know, I really, really hope that they get this right, because I really like the idea of picking up a little handheld device, busting around to my mates, sitting down. Hopefully, I mean, they're going to need one as well, because otherwise they won't have a controller. But
well, no, because again, hopefully they do the smart thing and you can use like the pro controllers.
Yeah. I mean, anything like that would be good. But then you've got a wire sticking into my controller.
Yeah, because it's Bluetooth.
Oh right, that'd be good. Yeah. So something like that. But either which way,
which obviously then looks like you say it will sync with lots of Bluetooth devices, so you don't necessarily even have to have a Nintendo controller.
Oh, I can't see them letting go of stuff like.
But again, it's no different than third-party controllers.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know there's going to be licensing fees, but I don't think Nintendo can afford to be picky.
No, they didn't. Well, that Wii money's got to be running out now, surely.
Yeah, it's being replaced with Amiibo money.
Yeah, fair play.
So it's sort of robbing Peter to pay Paul and take them all back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's obviously they've lowered their forecast for this year. Rest of the year,
they reckon 3DS sales are going to drop, don't they?
Yeah, massively so. If the NX does turn out to be a handheld,
it says a lot. Because let's be honest, the one thing that Nintendo have owned and absolutely just honed the market for years and years and years,
undominated. Yeah, undominated until 2008.
So if they're making a prediction that they intend to see less 3DS sales, that means they're doing something in the handheld space, because there's no reason for them to do that.
No. I mean, you can sort of talk about with sort of saturation rates and it dropping off, but yeah, I mean, is it substantial?
But there's no shortfall on announcements of games on the 3DS coming out. So,
like you say, with the SNES Virtual Console stuff coming to it,
I mean,
which a lot of people are really bitter about because they're just cross-play the fucking lot, mate.
Yeah, and also if you look at what the SNES games are, they're shit.
Well, they're not Super Mario Kart in there.
Sorry, they're not shit, but they're just not the ones that most people wanted.
No, you're not being on. If you bought it on the Wii U, or you've got it on, like you say, Wii Virtual Console, where you're going to go out and spend another £6-7 on a copy you can play on your 3DS. We're not to sound horrible and slightly illegal. I could just download a fucking ROM.
I mean, we wouldn't encourage it, of course.
No, but again, you would be a mug to go and spend another £7-8 for a 3DS version when you can just get a fucking ROM and play it on your phone.
But we wouldn't encourage it.
No, not at all.
Cool. Well, there we are, folks. That's where we find ourselves. Another wrap-up. NX, what do you feel about it?
I'm kind of optimistic, kind of a bit trepidation, but yeah, we'll sort of know more at the end of the summer.
I really hope they do it right, because Nintendo, if they get these things right, they're just massive, aren't they? They're massive.
Yeah. And it's one of those, it's not too big to fail, but I hope that it doesn't.
Cool. Right, so from Angry Link, it's...
Adios and all of those other things.
And for me, it's Auf Wiedersehen, Pet.